He's a good coach.
Is this our top 7?
Top 7.
Okay.
Or can you guess 7? Who I have at number 7?
See, at Illinois 8. USC 7.
It's not USC.
Minnesota.
It's not Minnesota.
Indiana.
It's Indiana. I got
God.
Indiana at number 7.
Robert.
Listen. Indiana was great last year. They were, and I still think they're going to be great. This is how good I think the Big Ten is this year. I think Indiana at number 7 has an outside chance to make the college football playoffs. They went 11-2. They were unbelievable last year.
Yep.
Curt Cignetti is a great coach. I talked about how dominant they were last year, and I still hold true to that. Last year was it looked like they were Ohio State out there. I mean, they had the second best statistical year in the Big Ten behind Ohio State. I can't find my notes on them. But Indiana, I think that their passing game is going to be a big strength. I think they upgraded at quarterback, going from Curtis Roach to Fernando Mendoza.
Great.
He was great at Cal. I think he's got a lot of talent.
Auburn. Yeah.
And you got Elijah Surratt coming back.
Surratt, he's awesome.
He is great. Nearly 1,000 yards receiver last year, 957 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns. He was a big play threat. A lot of NFL draft guys really like him. He kind of kept them in the game against Notre Dame too, in the playoffs. He made a lot of big plays, even though a lot of that was in garbage time. Curt Cignetti is a great coach, and he's here to stay. But other than that, they have E.J. Williams Jr. and Amari Cooper coming back too, who know the program.
They do.
They're good receivers. E.J. Williams, Blue Moon ago, was on Clemson, raking up yards. He wasn't all that great, but
he wasn't great. But
now he's on Indiana. Omar Cooper should be a great slot receiver. He had 594 yards receiving last year, 7 touchdowns, averaged 21 yards per catch. I like this offense, especially the passing game. I think can be very, very interesting for Indiana. I also like their linebackers and their cornerbacks. I think they're all great. Especially 2 guys on defense, 2 of the best defensive players in the Big Ten, and Mikael Kamara at defensive end, a guy that had 10 sacks last year, a guy that a lot of NFL draft prospects really like at edge rusher, and a guy by the name of Aiden Fisher, linebacker, who had 118 total tackles last year. So they returned 2 defensive studs. I think they're well coached, like I've said numerous times, because I really believe that. The only problem with Indiana that I really kind of seem to have is they're very transfer reliant. On defense and on offense, and especially on the offensive line and the defensive line. So that could work out. It also couldn't work out. They were very transfer reliant last year, and it worked out. So we'll see. I do like Indiana. I think they're a good team. Being at number 7 doesn't think I'm a bad. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're a solid team. Do you have anything to say about Indiana?
I feel like they're a little low, but not like insanely low. I would put them a little higher. I'd put them maybe 1 spot up. I think number 6, number 5 maybe. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Curt Cignetti's a winner. He is 130-37 in his coaching career. So I'm very, confident in that. They get to ease into their schedule. Big time.
Big time ease.
I mean, you ease into the schedule big time, and then you have Illinois right away, which I think that could go either way.
Give me Indiana.
I really feel like it could go either way. I don't know. I like both of those. But then you got at Iowa, at Oregon.
With a bye week in between.
Yes, you do get a bye in between, but it really ramps up after that. It all ramps up at PSU November 8th. But will they go in the playoff again? Not saying that, but I would have them a little higher. But they got a lot of transfers that sometimes works, sometimes just does not work. Mm-hmm. So it will be interesting to watch. So, yeah.
Definitely. I do think last year Indiana had a schedule to where they had to play at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But other than that, they really kind of got to ease into the playoffs.
Oh.
I mean, That's how crazy,
much
by the
so.
way, Kurt Cignetti's first year was. Is we were saying, I remember the same week Alabama played LSU, Indiana played Michigan, and everyone was saying, all right, well, Indiana will beat Michigan. It's Indiana and it's Michigan. When have we ever said that in the history of college football? That, oh yeah, Indiana will beat Michigan. They'll be favored by 10 points.
Yeah.
It was a great game, but they were favored. Indiana was favored over Michigan.
No.
That's just as crazy, or it should be just as crazy, as Vanderbilt beating Alabama. And we all just sort of were like, okay, I remember me I was at the LSU game, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, oh, okay, Indiana won.
Yeah.
That was what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's never supposed to happen. Indiana's never supposed to beat Michigan.
Kurt Cignetti's a winner.
He's a winner, and he won.
Tremendous track record as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so
Google him. Seriously, I don't like Kurt Cignetti because I think he's off the chain, but he's a great coach.
So cringy.
So that's why I got at number 7 is the Indiana Hoosiers. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs this year just because they have to play at Oregon and at Penn State. And I'm definitely saying they're losing those games. So then you have to win out the rest of your schedule. I don't think they can, but maybe they can. It's Kurt Cignetti. I don't want to doubt the man too much. Indiana definitely has a chance of making the playoffs. As maybe the 4th Big Ten team. Now we get to the top 6. My number 16. What do you think?
The Wolverines or USC? I'm going to go with both of those teams. I feel
Not the Wolverines, nor is it the Trojans.
Is it Minnesota?
It's Minnesota.
Okay. I thought they were a playoff team though.
I
Like,
love
close
this team.
to a playoff team in your book.
They are. They totally are. I think Minnesota is being so slept on. Minnesota is my sleeper pick to make a lot of noise this year in the college football world. In my opinion, it starts on defense. This team last year was so good defensively. They were 3rd in the Big Ten in yards allowed per game, only behind Ohio State and Indiana. They were a better defensive team on paper than Oregon and Penn State last year. The Gophers were. They were fabulous defensively. They went 8-5 last year, which is just as good as Michigan. It's better than Nebraska, just as good as Iowa, better than Washington, better than Wisconsin, better than USC, yet no one talked about them. Out of those 5 losses, 4 of them were by 1 possession. One of those games to Penn State, which they nearly won.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota had an unbelievable year last year, and I think they have an unbelievable defense. All 3 levels, defensive line, linebacker, and secondary, Minnesota has NFL talent, which has never been the case. Starting on the defensive line, Anthony Smith, defensive end, 6'6", 285 pounds, 6 sacks last year, 4-star recruit, NFL talent. He's a great pass rusher. At linebacker, Maverick Baranowski, 65 tackles last year. He was a low recruit, but he's a stud. He's experienced in the program. Every single one of your returning linebackers has over 55 tackles. Talk to me, Will. At safety,
I don't get it.
Kerry Brown and Coy Parrish, the 2nd best safety duo in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Okay.
They're loaded at safety. These 2 guys are dogs. Coy Parrish is a 96 out of 100 star recruit on 24/7 Sports. Great player. He was an unbelievable freshman.
Yeah, he's great.
This defense is loaded. I think this defense is one of the best defenses
All right.
in the Big Ten.
So, okay, that's all down. But on offense.
On offense, okay.
Wait. Young quarterback.
Yes.
You lose a lot of talent. You lose your top wide receiver last year. Jackson was great. I don't know if I have enough trust in Drake Lindsey. He is a freshman. He's not a true freshman. He's a redshirt freshman. But I don't know if I have enough trust in them to go whatever you've got, a 9-3 or 10-2, and possibly go in the playoff. I just don't know. And they just lost a lot of talent. So I don't know if I have enough trust, but I want to hear you talk.
You know what? I understand why you don't have enough trust in Drake Lindsey. I don't have enough trust in Drake Lindsey. But you know who has enough trust in Drake Lindsey? The Minnesota coaching staff. Because they saw the talent of Drake Lindsey as backup quarterback, and they said, you know what, we're going to go up and we're going to build around him. They got a great transfer wide receiver in Javon Tracy. This dude had over 800 yards receiving at Miami, Ohio. It's Miami, Ohio, but he's a stud. They got a veteran, Logan Loya, who was at UCLA forever, was consistent as hell over there. So they went out in the transfer portal and they said, you know what, I really like this guy. This redshirt freshman, I like him so much that I'm not going to go ahead and get a transfer quarterback to replace him, which they could have. They said, we're going to start him and we're going to build around him. And they have pieces. And they have a run game. Darius Taylor is a dog.
He's great.
He's one of the best running backs in the Big Ten. Nearly 1,000 yards rushing last year. 986.
Yeah.
10 touchdowns. He also added 350 yards receiving.
Yeah.
So if Drake Lindsay doesn't have any of his really good transfer receivers open, he can dumb it down to his elite running back, who's a true junior, by the way. That's another thing I love about this program. Most of the players, in fact, almost all your players on defense,
is young talent.
and a lot of your core on offense is developed talent within the system.
Yeah.
And this offensive line, again, a lot of returning starters. The ones that aren't returning starters were starters elsewhere or were great recruits. I think Minnesota, it has so many pieces to make an Indiana-esque run this year in the Big Ten. Now looking at their schedule, this is the only part that I get worried about Minnesota because they have to play at Ohio State and they have to play at Oregon.
Yeah.
Am I picking them to win either of those games? No, I'm not. But I'm picking them to win every single other one.
But
I don't care that they're playing at Iowa. They're going to win that game.
At Iowa.
They're beating Cal. They're beating Buffalo. It's Buffalo. They're beating Northwestern State. They're winning at Cal.
Cal's not a gimme though.
Cal lost
not a
everything.
Gimme. I know they lost everybody, but it's on the road. I mean, it's not a gimme.
They're beating Cal.
Label that a gimme.
I don't care. They're beating Cal. They're beating Rutgers. They're losing to Ohio State. They're beating Purdue. They're beating Nebraska. They're squeaking out their signature win against Iowa. Revenge game, by the way.
I don't see it.
They're beating Michigan State. They're losing Oregon, and they're beating Northwestern and Wisconsin in the year, and they could make the playoffs. This is my sleeper pick. This is who I think is going to be the story of the Big Ten.
I respect it.
This could backfire on me, but this is the team that I really like because they're elite on defense and they have a great running back and they trust their freshman quarterback. I think that they're going to be great. I'm so excited to watch Minnesota this year.
Yeah. I love that you have gotten that high.
It's bold. It's really bold to have Minnesota 3 spots higher than Illinois.
Why not?
But
man?
I love Minnesota.
I understand. I like them. I don't like them as near as you like them, but I like them. I can see them going 8-4. I hope not 7-5, but it could happen. But I think probably 8-4 is probably reasonable. So I like them. I don't know.
I am taking my trailer and I'm hitching it onto Minnesota, and I am bandwagoning the Gophers all year because I love this team.
Okay.
So I'm excited about Minnesota. I cannot wait to watch that game against Ohio State on the road. I think they're going to keep it close. I don't think they're going to win, but I'm excited. I'm really excited about the Gophers.
Mm-hmm.
So that ends, for me, the third tier of the Big Ten. I think tier number 3 is Washington, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana, and Minnesota. I think any of those teams could make the jump up to the next tier. So I got 2 tiers left. I got my elite tier of 3 teams that people probably can figure out on their own. And I've got a little tier 2, which contains 2 teams.
USC and Michigan.
USC and Michigan. Do you know which team I have at number 5?
Michigan.
I got Michigan at number 5. Michigan fans, of course, are one of the most loud fan bases in college football. And Michigan takes up a lot of the media in college football, especially these days, because there's a lot of stuff going on with Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to try not to talk as much about all the scandals and just kind of focus on the roster. But it is worth saying that it's kind of hard as a coaching staff. It's a challenge to keep your players' minds completely on the field and completely on the team and away from all the other noise. So that's just an added implement for Michigan.
Yeah, it is.
And they kind of, in a way, have a target on their back. So that's just an interesting thing about Michigan. But this number 5 rating has nothing to do with that. It's me looking at their roster. Michigan's got a lot of strengths. They are another team in the Big Ten that has NFL experienced talent on all 3 levels of the defense, which is great. Defensive line, their main guy is Derek Moore. Defensive end, he was a great recruit, and a lot of NFL guys really like him. He hasn't done a ton in college football, but your shots.
You have not bro talks one word about Bryce Underwood.
Not yet. I'm not getting to him yet.
It's interesting.
I'm starting on the defense. Their
Okay.
linebackers should both be phenomenal. Ernest Hausman and Jayshon Barham should be great. Their secondary should be awesome. They got 2 great corners in Jair Hill and Zeke Berry. And Rod Moore is back again. So I really like this defense, which is not a surprise with Michigan. A defense, by the way, that helped them beat Ohio State and Alabama to close the year, and sort of kind of shove under the bed all the bad stuff that happened in 2024, because everyone really seems to be talking about those 2 big wins. Now we look at the offense, and you're right. What's the first thing you have to mention when you're talking
Bryce
about Michigan?
Underwood. I mean, the guy was a huge recruit. He's probably the. I mean, I can't remember a quarterback recruit this huge, ever. You know, everybody's we're talking about him, and he's going to play right away.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play at Oklahoma almost right away. And it's I don't know what we're gonna get, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited. So it's going to be interesting.
It is. I think
that kid's an athlete. I mean,
yeah.
He's unbelievable.
100 out of 100 star recruit on 24/7 Sports.
Huge recruit.
Yep. Number 1 quarterback, number 1 player in his class. So that is, there's not a lot of players that are the number 1 recruit in their class that turn out to be terrible.
No.
So Bryce Underwood should be really good. Will he be Heisman Trophy right out of the gates?
No.
I don't think so. Another interesting thing to note about Bryce Underwood, just overall last year, Michigan was dead last by far in the Big Ten in passing yards per game.
It was bad.
They only had, this is also dead last. Most every team, not only in the Big Ten but in college football, had around 130, 150, if they were elite, 180 first downs by passing attempt. Michigan had 86, which is way lower.
They won against some amazing teams.
They did.
You know?
They very much so did.
Like Alabama.
Like Ohio State.
How about the national champions? So it's just, it's crazy to me.
It is. Jerome Moore deserves some credit
wild.
there. But
Schemes are amazing.
about Michigan, I don't like their wide receiver room.
Neither do I.
Of course, a lot of them didn't have very good quarterbacks thrown to them last year, so
Yeah.
maybe they're unproven, but even then, they're not all great recruits. They got 3 stars, Frederick Moore and Samaj Morgan, who are coming back, who I don't really
They got a transfer though.
think that are all that great. They do have a transfer, Donovan McCulley from Indiana,
It's gonna be interesting.
who was really good in 2023.
They got another transfer also.
They do have another transfer.
Running back.
Who
Justice Haynes.
you love.
I
last
love
year.
Justice Haynes. I mean, I really liked that guy, so I'm sad. Like Alabama lost him, and especially right now because,
Yeah, no Jam Miller.
Yeah, no Jam Miller. He just got hurt, so kind of tough, but it is what it is. You know,
Mhm.
transfer portal is just a very
It's a wild thing.
she's revolving. You know, now it's
It definitely is.
just part of college football.
And Justice Haynes is a great benefactor of that. I mean, he never broke out at Alabama the way they thought he did, or that he was going to.
Yeah.
Maybe he could break out here on Michigan. They have a pretty good offensive line, better than most teams in the Big Ten. They ran the ball really well last year, so it could work really well for them. I think it's going to have to work well, especially in week 2 going into Norman, or in week 4 going into Lincoln, Nebraska. Games like that where if you can't run the ball and you have to say, okay, Bryce Underwood, take the ball with these.
Throw it in the fire right away.
Yep, throw you in the fire, take the
Not
ball
good.
with these inexperienced wide receivers, and go out there and win the game. I don't think that's going to
I don't
happen.
think no.
So if they want to win these big games early in the year, they
A
have
good
to
running
be able
attack.
to run the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta find it.
Yeah, I think the reason that I have Michigan over the rest of the 4th tier team or the 3rd tier teams in the Big Ten is because I think their defense is so good. It was really good last year, despite how bad their offense was.
Yeah.
I think it'll continue to be that way. I think they should be able to run the ball consistently enough to where Bryce Underwood can get comfortable. And I think towards the end of the year, we'll start to see Bryce Underwood really prove why he was a great quarterback recruit.
Yeah.
And of course, the biggest game on the schedule for Michigan is
Ohio State.
It's Ohio State, end of the year.
At home this year.
It is at home. You've won 4 straight against the Buckeyes, which is so awesome, by the way, that they've done that. I think that's
made it
the funniest thing ever.
So chaotic.
Yeah.
This rivalry is just so chaotic now. I mean,
it's wild.
Coaches, it's always been, crazy. But what is crazy to me is, like, I look at them and I'm like, they are overrated. Like, I look at them and I look at that roster. I'm like, this is not that great a roster. And then I look at that and I'm like, they won against Alabama and Ohio State last year with just, terrible quarterback play. I'm just going to say terrible quarterback play.
It was terrible. That's 100% true.
It was terrible. And they won those games. And that's why I'm like, I have to have a little produce respect, So I have to, like, it's just crazy to me. So I like that ranking as well. It's crazy to me because it's like I don't look at this and I'm like, this is an amazing roster, but dude, they were amazing last year at the very
at the end of the year.
Brady's end of the year. Cut that. Sorry.
That's fine.
But it's just crazy. They were amazing last year at the very end of the year. It's just wild to me.
Mm-hmm. I think Michigan. A lot of people are saying Michigan's going to make the playoffs. A lot of people have Michigan in like their top 12. Joel Klatt is really high on Michigan.
Really?
Shocker that Joel Klatt is high on Michigan.
I don't really watch him.
I watch him so I can disagree with him.
He kind of annoys me with some of those takes. I'm like, this is just not a good take, Joel.
Yeah, but this is not the Joel Klatt.
I like him as a commentator. I just don't.
He's a great commentator.
I don't like some of his takes.
Mm-hmm. So I got Michigan number 5. Number 4.
USC.
Right, I think USC is getting slept on like crazy. They're not in the top 25. I look at a roster like USC, and then I look at a roster like Illinois, and I'm saying USC is so much more talented. How is Illinois ranked in the top 15 and USC is unranked? And USC has always been risen up too high by the media. I feel like everyone's always predicting them to be much better than they actually are because of it's Southern California. This year, I think is the opposite. It could work out.
Yeah, maybe it works out.
It could be some yummy rat poison.
That it's not like that. Yeah, exactly.
An interesting stat about USC: they were 7-6 last year.
It's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
They looked amazing in a couple games.
Yes,
last
they did.
year.
But an interesting stat about USC in the Big Ten: they played in 7 one-score games. They were 2-5 in those one-score games. So they were good enough to hang around with pretty much every one of their opponents.
Every game was pretty much close. It's crazy.
Notre
Dame was the one exception, but that was a close game. That was a closer game than,
Yeah, than the score shows.
Than the score shows.
That they really hung with and almost beat
there.
some of the best teams in college football last year.
It's just crazy, yeah.
And they have a lot of talent. I think their main strength, when I'm looking at it, like the first thing I see is I really think that their passing game.
I was going to say that too.
First of all, I think their passing game has a lot of potential because of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
That guy's got a phenomenal track record.
Offensive mind, yeah.
Multiple Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Just a great offensive mind.
That guy's 81-24 in 8 years.
That is impressive.
I know, it's amazing.
Of course, what everyone is saying about USC is it's gotten worse and worse, which is true. It started with Caleb Williams almost make the playoffs, then went to Caleb Williams didn't make the playoffs. They beat Utah. They would have been in. And then last year, of course, being his worst year, going 7-6,
which was weird because there's a lot of, I don't know. They looked great at a lot of points, but
yes,
just part of it.
They lost to my boys at Minnesota. That was sort of when people sort of felt that they were not going to be an elite team. That
was a weird one.
They also beat LSU, but anyway, enough about last year.
Yeah, I know.
USC this year, I would be shocked if they don't get better than being 7-6. I really like Jaden Mayava. I think that he was a pretty good recruit out of high school, not phenomenal. and he sort of hasn't really started a lot, but in his starts, he's had 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So pretty solid.
Yeah.
He is not the carefulest with the ball. He turns it over a good amount.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger. Like, he's not
He
afraid
is.
to sling it.
And he's a guy where I look at him and I say, oh, this guy can make some
Kind of
NFL
works
throws.
with, like, Lincoln Riley, I feel like, at times.
I agree.
That can kind of work.
I think he's got a lot of great arm talent. I think
Good
that
wide
under
receivers.
Lincoln Riley, and that's the main thing, their
He's good wide
receivers. There's a couple of them.
Jacoby Lane, I love.
He's a big.
He's got a motor. Like, I love him. 12 touchdowns last year.
12 touchdowns.
700 yards, like over, Well, no,
It was 525.
that was Lemon.
Mhm.
That was Lemon that had 700,
Yes.
700 yards. But he's great. Lemon's great.
Yes.
They have a great tight end as well, Lake McCree. He's really solid. He's a big boy. Running back though, I am worried about running back because last year they had
Woody Marks.
Woody Marks.
Go Texans.
Was solid, and now they have Brian Jackson, who I think this guy transferred from LSU, if I'm familiar with that. I may be wrong. Brian, he shot in the bowl win against Texas A&M. Okay, maybe not. But I'm a little worried about the run game. I don't know how good I can't remember how good their run game was last year.
I got
you probably have some numbers with that. But.
So USC offensively last year was second in the Big Ten in yards per game, first in passing yards per game,
obviously,
and 10th in rushing yards per game.
Yeah. So I'm worried about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I'm worried about the run game.
Looks like they got a worse running back than what they had. Because I kind of liked, what's his name again?
Woody Marks?
Woody Marks.
Mhm.
Golly.
Very fun.
It's late. So I kind of liked him, but I don't know if it's going to work out running game wise. I'm worried about that.
No,
But everything
I agree.
else I love. Like, I love, everything else, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Offensively.
I love the two wide receivers, Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon. I think they complement each other so well. I think Lane is one of the best red zone threats in the country.
Yeah.
At
seriously.
6'4", he's a big target. Like you said,
Well,
12 touchdowns last year.
Vague routes.
A lot of them.
They ran last year, I felt like.
Definitely. Mekhi Lemon, great recruit out of high school.
Roach.
Sorry. That's fine. He had 764 yards last year. He's a great route runner. Kind of a slot guy. He's smooth. And a lot of NFL draft prospects really like him as well. So that's as good of a wide receiver duo as you're going to find in the Big Ten other than Ohio State. And really like that part of their team. Offensive line should be great. Elijah Page is going to be a stud at offensive tackle. Alani Noah is going to be a stud at guard. And then they've got two transfers, DJ Wingfield and John Ray Reed, I believe is how you say that.
Okay.
Who have starting experience in the FBS at Syracuse and Purdue, respectively. So I really like the offensive line. They were second in sacks allowed last year, which is really, really good, and second in yards per carry. So their offensive line is great. Their wide receivers are great. I think their quarterback's going to be great. I really like the talent that they have on offense. Defense is where they were horrible last year. 15th in yards allowed per game. They struggled. But I think there's a lot to be excited about, especially, in my opinion, for USC in the secondary. I think that a lot of these guys in the secondary, some of them are transfers,
Yeah.
but they
Prophet
all
Brown.
have... Sorry?
He's Prophet Brown, right? That guy was at, was he at FSU last year?
He was, I think, 2 years ago, maybe at FSU.
Sorry.
It's okay. But he's a great recruit. Kamari Ramsey is going to be one of the best safeties in college football. He's crazy athletic. A lot of draft guys really like him too. So Kamari Ramsey's elite. DJ Harvey has a lot of college football experience. So does Bishop Fitzgerald.
NC State.
And then at linebacker, Eric Gentry is going to be a fifth-year starter at USC, which is crazy. So they have experience, and they really like their defensive staff over there in Southern California. So
That's good.
I think they're going to take a step forward on defense. I think they're going to be just as good on offense.
I
And
think so too.
looking at their schedule, they should, I think, in my opinion, they should easily win their first 4 games.
Yeah. Then at Illinois.
At Illinois, I think they should win. Will probably thinks it's going to be an interesting game.
I feel like Illinois is going to win that one, but I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited for that one.
It's a big time game. And then this is when and it's great that they get a bye week before they have these two next games where they host Michigan and they go at Notre Dame. To me, that defines the season, or it will define the season for USC.
Ooh.
Obviously, Notre Dame and Michigan are kind of both rivalry games. Those are going to be huge. And you get a bye week before and a bye week after. So just focus on those games through those 4 weeks. And then the schedule is not the toughest in the world. So we'll see. USC, it would not shock me if they go 10-2 and make the playoffs. I think they're that talented.
Dude, I'll tell you, college football's going to be so good this year. Like, some of these games have me so hyped. Like, USC at Notre Dame, like, I'm hyped for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why, but it's like kind of a rivalry game, so I'm excited. I don't know. It's just one more week and it's like really gonna ramp up, you know?
Yep.
One more week, less than a week, and it's really gonna ramp up. So it's gonna be great.
And the best part about college football is that same week we get Washington at Michigan. We get Wisconsin hosting Ohio State. We get Penn State at Iowa. We get a great slate pretty much every week. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be good.
So I'm excited about USC. I think they got a real shot to make some noise. And that leads us into our top tier of teams. Top 3 teams in the Big Ten. I know that if you're a college football fan, you've heard a lot about these 3 teams.
Okay.
And rightfully so. They're unbelievably talented. I'm just going to state all 3 of them in the order that I have them right now.
Okay.
They're very interchangeable. They're all really talented. I got Oregon at number 3, Penn State at number 2, Ohio State at number 1.
Okay.
Starting with Oregon last year, what's interesting is these teams all had such different years. Oregon went undefeated during the regular season and won the Big Ten.
Number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Penn State made the college football semifinals, so they went farther than Oregon, but they lost them in the Big Ten championship. Ohio State didn't make the Big Ten championship and won the national championship. So.
Yeah.
Each of these 3 teams accomplished something different.
Yeah.
I got Oregon at number 3. I think Oregon is phenomenal. I'm not saying that Oregon is much worse than Ohio State or Penn State.
Yeah.
I think they can definitely beat Ohio State and Penn State on a neutral field. Obviously, last year that was not the case. I really like Oregon's run game with Mekhi Hughes. I think Dante Moore is super talented. And I think that he's not going to need a ton of help, but he has a ton of help.
It's nice.
It is very nice. And then I also really like their. Oh no, that's a different team. I really like the overall talent they have on offense and defense. Dan Lanning has done such a great job.
Dan Lanning is an amazing coach, dude.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for Dan Lanning.
He's incredible. I mean, he is a culture guy. Like, what has changed there has been incredible. So, yeah.
Definitely. As far as wide receiver goes, they lost Evan Stewart to injury, which was rough.
Probably the rest of the year. He could make it back to the playoffs, I've heard, but you just never know.
Mm-hmm. So they got some young guys.
But they got a young wide receiver that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guy by the name of
DeCorian Moore. Number 1 wide receiver last year.
Yes. And he's going to get a lot of playing time because of Evan Stewart's injury.
Right away, yeah.
He could be a breakout star on this team. Again, he's unproven at the college level, so
I think he's gonna be really good.
I think he's gonna be really good too, but we don't know. So
Keelan Russell last year.
Yeah, not like him.
Yeah, they played together, so it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting with him.
Thrive over there, I think, at Oregon. I think he's just gonna thrive.
No, I agree. They also got a guy at tight end named Kenyon Sadiq, who a lot of people really, really like.
Yeah.
He was a great recruit out of high school.
Yeah, but I like him.
I like him too. He hasn't done that much. He had 300 yards last year. So he's not some Brock Bowers-esque tight end, but of course not very many people are.
Yeah.
A lot of NFL draft guys really like him. Will really likes him, which is really that's for saying. You just said he liked him. So
yeah, I really like him. I didn't really know much about him until their pro conference game last year, and he went crazy in that game. Like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was like, I guess he's number 18 or number 19. I was like, who's number like 18. Like, this guy's everywhere. So, I really liked him in that game. So, that's all I can really say.
He's got talent.
Not saying much.
No, I think he's super talented. I think that Dante Moore is going to have a lot of weapons. I think he's a guy that has a lot of potential to be an elite college quarterback, and like his run game. So I think this offense is going to be just fine, especially offensive line. I think the offensive line is going to be great. In terms of defense, I think this is going to be one of the best defenses in college football. I mean, you got Mateo Uiagalelei at defensive end, who had 10.5 sacks last year. He's going to be screaming off the edge.
Yeah.
Again, he should be a great draft prospect. At D tackle, they got Bear Alexander, who's been all over the place, but
Yeah.
he's at Oregon now.
Georgia,
USC, now Oregon. Great recruit, very talented player. At linebacker, even, you got Bryce Bedecker, not Gale Bedecker, Bryce Bedecker, who had 94 tackles last year for the Ducks. Great player, leader on the defense. Also, Titum Tuioti is another great guy who is a returner who had 5.5 sacks last year.
He's really good.
They should be able to rush the passer. They should have a quarterback in the defense.
Yeah.
And they got one of the best transfers out of the transfer portal last year, or this year. And Dylan Thieneman, I think is maybe how you say his name?
Yeah, I think that's right. Dylan
Thieneman. He is from Purdue, but he was one of the best safeties in the Big Ten last year.
Yeah.
Wisely transferred out of West Lafayette
again?
he was at Purdue. Now he's at Oregon. So I'm excited about him.
A lot of guys transfer, I feel like.
They've had a good amount.
He's produced. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
people are
revolving door.
trying to get out of there as fast as they
Yeah,
can.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah, it's not the best place to be. But I like Oregon. I think Oregon has legit national title hopes.
Okay.
I have them in the playoffs. I have them losing at Penn State, but again, I would not be shocked if they won that game.
In my opinion, they're a little overrated. Not just like a tad.
Okay.
I don't love their roster as much as everybody else likes it, but their coaching is so good that I'm like, they are great, but I think they lose in the Brody's playoff pretty much right away because of that. Because I don't think they're going to get protested all that much in the regular season. But I just think they're a little overrated. Young, for a quarterback that's going to play great, I feel like, but I'm just a little worried. But their coaching is amazing. I can't, but I don't know, just slightly overrated in my opinion.
Okay.
So I don't had like a hair.
I don't fully disagree with you.
Love their roster. I don't love what they've got, but
I love their defense.
Lanning can coach, so
Wideout's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I love their defense. Their schedule is very manageable.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They do have that last 4 games of the year at Iowa, Minnesota, USC, and at Washington.
Are some interesting ones.
Those are all interesting games. You got to be careful with every one of those games.
Yeah,
If you
not
go
really
out and
hard
lose,
ones, but ones that you gotta just kind of
don't
walk in
you
aware.
gotta keep an eye on them.
Walk in aware. Don't come in, like unaware.
I agree. So we'll see with Oregon. They could go 11-1. They could go 12-0. They could.
I've
very
got them
easily go
11-1, but I'm saying they're gonna lose right away in the playoff. I think maybe 10-2, 11-1 or 10-2, but I feel like they lose right away because they aren't, quite tested like, let's say, I don't know, pro Georgia or somebody or.
I have them in my
Like Oklahoma.
playoff predictions, which you can go look at. They're on the week 0
playing Oklahoma.
preview. I got them playing Oklahoma at home and losing. So,
Yeah.
and again, it would not shock me if they won that game. But I think Oregon is as talented as most teams in college football. We'll see what they have on their schedule.
Definitely, the talent's there.
Next up, my next 2 teams, Ohio State and Penn State. I'm going to kind of group them together and talk about them similarly. This could go either way. I think they're both a little ahead of Oregon.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that they're so close to one another. Honestly, Penn State might have them beat out talent-wise. I just cannot, in my heart, put Penn State above Ohio State when they
Because of
haven't
James
beaten
Franklin.
them
Yeah,
since 2016.
yeah, I understand.
And I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, Penn State is great pretty much at every single level of their roster. They're one of the most well-rounded teams in college football. They got one of the best quarterbacks in college football coming back. They have maybe the best running back room with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. They got a great offensive line, great defensive line with Zion Durant and Denise Sutton. They got
back course will be fun.
running back course awesome.
That's what's gonna be fun. I think.
They got great linebackers with Tony Rojas leading the way, and great safeties and a great secondary. The only problem with Penn State, in my opinion, is their wide
Is it Drew
receiver.
Aller? Oh, I thought you were gonna say Drew Aller.
Drew Aller too. It's kind of both
Because
because
I know I remember you said a lot last year, like Drew Aller hasn't really quite.
he
proven
hasn't
himself.
he hasn't proven it to me, which I know a lot of people are gonna say is crazy. Who's more proven than Drew Aller? The stat that I go to with Drew Aller is in the Orange Bowl last year against Notre Dame.
It was bad.
He played that whole
That's
game.
not right.
He had like 150 yards passing, something like that. Threw
Couldn't
some
convert.
bad interceptions.
Couldn't convert though,
Um,
right?
He couldn't convert at the end. But despite all that, despite not converting, despite not throwing for a lot of yards, despite the interceptions, the most shocking stat to me, the most negative stat to me, the most terrible stat to me about that game with Drew Aller. Do you know how many completions he had to wide receivers in that game?
Was it like? I'm gonna say exactly 5. It was 0.
0.
So all to Tyler Warren and
Drew
like
Aller.
running backs and stuff.
Yep, all to Tyler Warren and
You're not
Nick
giving to
Singleton.
Trey Wallace or anybody else.
He had 0 completions to a wide receiver in the semifinals of the college football playoffs.
Bro, that entire game.
That
Like
whole
that entire
game
game.
did not complete a single pass to a wide receiver. Isn't
I
that
remember I
crazy?
heard that, but I was like, I don't know why I was like, that's not true. So I was kind of like, it's not true. So I
It's
watched
true.
that game.
It's true. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think that's a crazy
I
stat.
mean, Tyler Warren was great, but now he's gone.
Now
And
he's
you're
gone.
gonna have to go to your wide receivers now.
Mm-hmm.
Running backs are
And-
back, but
A lot of people are really going crazy about Devontae Ross and Kyron Hudson.
I don't know.
These are guys that transfer from Troy and USC. I mean, I think that they could be
Troy's
good.
got some good transfers.
Yeah, they do.
Troy's
Shout
got a
out,
couple.
shout out Troy. Troy's a good school. Shout out Jack's brother. But
Damian Taylor.
I mean, Devontae Ross as your number one receiver, he's 5'11", 161. He might have gotten bulked up a little bit while he's there, but I don't know. I don't think that they're elite in that
I
room.
agree.
And then they don't have Tyler Warren to bail them out. Luke Reynolds is a great recruit, 5-star recruit at tight end. He could be phenomenal.
Khalil Dinkins.
But
as
we'll
well.
see.
It's like all right as well, but no Tyler Warren. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
But I think
Clifford, I feel like has been there forever.
yeah, he has Liam
Liam
Clifford's
Clifford.
dog. He's experienced as heck.
Maybe it's because of I don't know.
But
Because-
with Penn State, and I have these very very fine tuned sort of negative things that I'm finding about Penn State. I think that Drew Aller is going to be spectacular in the regular season. These are problems that I think that they're going to have in like the semifinals in the national championship game if they make
like
it there.
Oregon. It's exactly like Oregon.
I think Penn State, I'd be shocked if they don't make the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
They shouldn't lose to a team not named
Right.
Oregon or Ohio State. I'd be shocked if they do.
I'm just worried about later on.
Yeah, later on. I think
I
Penn
agree.
State is a shoo-in pretty much to make the quarterfinals
They're
of
just
the
like
college
Oregon.
football playoffs.
They're just like Oregon.
Mhm.
I feel like.
So yeah, we'll see with Penn State. Of course, very really really talented. One of the most talented, top 5 most talented teams in college football.
Totally could be wrong as well. Totally could be wrong. Just gotta say.
And at number 1, I got Ohio State. I have some trepidations about the Buckeyes, but every time I get worried about this, and that with the Buckeyes, I close my eyes and I picture number 4 running a go route down the left sideline in double coverage. And I mean, if I was a quarterback on Ohio State and I had Jeremiah Smith, I mean, I'm not a great athlete, but
pretty confident.
I think you're
He's just
happy
so
with
good,
that.
dude.
And you also got Garnell Tate, who's
Darnell Tate's not bad either.
he's one of the most highly
Or
touted draft
Brandon
prospects.
Ennis either.
And
Or
Brandon
Brandon
Ennis.
I mean, he's not bad.
He's a great
He's
recruit.
really quick.
I mean, Ohio
And
State's
they love
recruiting
him,
is
so.
so unbelievably
Wide
good.
receiving. I mean, what they've got at wide receiving room year after year is absurd.
It is unbelievable.
It is insane.
Mm-hmm. And so they're crazy talented on offense. They also add Max Clare at tight end from Purdue, who is going to be phenomenal. Of course, Purdue had all these phenomenal players in their team last year, and they were terrible.
I know, it's crazy how many transfers
It is crazy.
from Purdue. Like, every roster that I look at, I'm like, another Purdue transfer, wide receiver. There's a tight end, there's a linebacker, there's an offensive line. It's crazy. Julian Sayin, quarterback. I'm excited about that. I mean, I don't know what we're going to see right away, but he was a huge recruit. Of course, commits at Alabama, transfers right away after Saban leaves. Kalen came in. He didn't really ever want to,
Yeah, he just kind of left right away.
He just left right away, and
so did
that's
Brock
okay.
and Ryan, but they ended up coming back.
Yeah,
It sort of seemed like Sayin left and sort of just like turned a blind eye and just Ohio Stated it, which is fine. I understand Ohio State's fine over him.
Also, Caleb was also like that.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah, Isaiah Vaughn was like that. Like right away, they were like, "We're transferring," which I don't know. But Julian's saying it's going to be intriguing to watch.
I agree. I think it's interesting that he hasn't won the quarterback battle yet.
They actually said last week. They announced it last week. It was
okay.
So
that's great. Good for
him.
It
is good. Is it Keinholz?
The backup?
Yeah, their backup.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
I heard that was a close battle, but it was just, Julian was a little better. But Julian's saying, great recruit. Obviously, he has great wide receivers. But, this is a young guy that is going out there right away. It's kind of, I don't know what to expect. And he's got to play versus the Longhorns, the number one team in the country. Next week. It's crazy that it's next week now.
It's so
It's just so wild. But it is going to be intriguing to watch. And and what's crazy about that those incredible wide receivers, they have another guy coming in. Chris Henry Jr., I think his name.
Chris Henry Jr.
From Rhodes Matter Day. He's amazing. And that guy's going to play probably right away next year. And it's like,
they just turn him out.
I mean, the rich just gets richer. So it's going to be intriguing to watch that. But I don't know why I thought of that, but I was like...
No, it's a good little tidbit.
He's going to be... Wide receivers are great. So, yeah.
So the offense is going to be great. Quick synopsis of the defense. Caleb Allen's best defensive player in college football, in my opinion. We know how good he is at safety. Rest of the secondary, Jermaine Matthews and Davison Igbinosun. Igbinosun is
he's
awesome.
Great. He's great.
I really, really like him. He's a baller.
Right after that, you lost a lot of guys, dude.
You did.
You lost a lot of dudes.
That's true. I do like Jermaine Matthews.
Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer is gone. The defensive line is very young.
Tyler Williams.
But the defensive, it's very young, but it's so talented. These recruits are unbelievable.
Huge recruits, yeah.
But they are young, which is something to mention, especially when you're playing Texas right out of the gate.
Right.
If they had a Penn State schedule, this wouldn't be as much of a concern. If they started with Nevada, Florida International, and
you gotta play Texas
Villanova, but you gotta play Texas week 1. They also got Sonny Styles. I don't want to go this whole video without mentioning Sonny Styles.
Sonny Styles is good. Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's a great linebacker.
He's been there for forever.
Oh my gosh, this roach is coming towards us. Golly.
But yeah, I think Ohio State's defense should be great once the defensive line settles in.
I want to say running back core, a little worried.
It's young.
Yeah. I like that they went and got the West Virginia guy. I don't know if he's on my roster.
C.J.
Donaldson.
Yeah.
He's solid.
He's a stud. James Peoples. They really like him.
Not really British proven, but they like him. But right away against Texas, can that guy run against them? We're gonna see. We're gonna see next week.
We do.
We're all gonna know this time next week. So,
which is exciting.
It is.
Looking at Ohio State's schedule, they got Texas. I think they're gonna lose that game, but I'm excited as heck to watch that game. That game's gonna be awesome.
I feel like they're gonna lose, but dude, it's hard. It's hard to pick.
Then they got 2 easy ones.
I don't know.
You're worried about Grambling?
Grambling in Ohio, man. At Washington, Minnesota, At Illinois, at Wisconsin, Penn State, at Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, at Michigan.
Yep.
So it ramps up, kind of goes a little down, and then you got at Michigan again. That's the one that's always one that everybody's looking at.
It's gonna be sketchy.
Always gonna be circled. So
also the Penn State game is gonna be interesting. Of course, and then for any other team, like any other Big Ten team, if they had this schedule, it would be considered a tough schedule. But it's Ohio State, so they win the games they're supposed to win. I have Ohio State going 11-1, losing to Texas and winning out.
okay.
I have them making the Big Ten championship and winning the Big Ten.
Okay.
What do you have Ohio State doing?
I've got them losing another game.
Well, which one? Which one you got them losing?
At the very end of the year.
You got them losing again?
I think Bryce Underwood grows up towards the end of the year. I think they win I think they lose at Michigan.
I
For
hope.
the 5th straight year. I think it's got to go to 5 and then they'll win next year. But I just can't pick Ryan Day to win that. I know I should be able to, but I just want to see it happen a little more than I feel like it's going to happen. But I hope Bryce Underwood grows up, really plays well, and that, offense is hopefully clicking. So I'm going to go with Michigan. I know their defense will click, but their offense is the question. So
You know what? I really hope that happens. I will be cheering for Michigan. As
I
much as
hope-
as I despise
and
Michigan,
I feel like it will.
I
but
will be
don't
cheering
know.
for Michigan.
I hope, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to see.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Who do you have winning the Big Ten?
Big Ten,
Because I have Ohio State.
Ohio State. I want to go Penn State, but I don't know if I can, man. Everybody's on that train. If I pick OSU to lose last game, I guess they could win the very next week. So I will go with OSU as well.
Okay.
Not
Right with the Buckeyes.
yeah. That's a pretty popular pick, but
Safe one.
it's a safe.
I think
one.
it's what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go with OSU to win. I think they play versus Penn State again. In the
Okay.
Big Ten title.
That would
And
be
I just
exciting.
and I have them winning twice versus Penn State too. And
I
once
also
at home,
have that. Yeah.
and then I feel like they will also play again in the Brody's playoff. And what if OSU loses?
Oh.
Can you imagine Ryan Day, how livid he would be?
Yeah.
Saying, we played them twice at home in our conference championship and here, the Cotton Bowl, whatever. And we lost. Can you imagine how mad he would be? So,
It'd be kind of.
I think that would be crazy. Because I've been looking at, a couple brackets. I've been trying to, put a bracket together.
Mhm.
So I will have that out eventually.
Before Saturday.
I hope so. I mean, I got to. It's about to get all ramped up.
That's true. Well, that does it for our Big Ten preview. The second most exciting conference in college football, behind the Big 12.
The Mountain West?
It'll be
FCS
great football.
Independence?
I
The
can't
FBS
wait
Independence?
to watch the Horizon League this year.
Dude, the
It's gonna be so much
Independent
fun.
League is going to be great.
Action on
UConn's
Tuesday
going to win it, I
nights.
think.
UConn.
UConn over Notre Dame?
I think so.
Yeah.
Safe pick.
I think so too.
2 Buckeye fans apparently for the Big Ten
Ugh.
predictions.
Right.
We'll see if it happens. We'll see if it won't.
I
Either
don't know.
way, we cannot wait to watch Big Ten football because it's college football, and that's what gets us most excited. So that's it for us. Y'all have a good night. Get home safe or stay home and continue to be safe. And
Make somebody smile.
Make somebody smile.
Either tonight, I guess it's late. I'll try to make you smile.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Or tomorrow. Or just the rest of the week. So
Yeah.
But yeah, you all have a good one. Thank y'all for joining us and see y'all in the next.
God bless.